Another installment of Bright Day Thoughts. Today I'm joined by Peter Holmes, who is the owner of Snow Lotus Aromatherapy. What aromatherapy is working with essential oils in a therapeutic way. So why don't you first tell us about aromatherapy, essential oils. How are essential oils used in a therapeutic way?
Well, I think the simplest way to break it down is uses by inhalation, when you inhale an oil, versus uses when you take them as a type of medication or remedy. You take them internally. Now that's a very specialized field which requires extensive training. So the inhalation method is really the one to focus on.
And is it best if they just take the lid off the bottle and just smell it? Is that what you mean?
Well, that's a start. But ideally, we want to get the oil out of the bottle. So we put a few drops onto a Kleenex, a ChasnQi, or just a drop or two of the palm of the hand, and rub it in between the fingers and smell it directly. So that's the quickest way to inhale an oil. Yeah.
And there are practitioners around who can support you. You could have various problems going on, whether they're emotional, with your health, physically, and a practitioner can guide you in a treatment and help you with essential oils.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a whole other field out there, and if you think you've tried everything and you're at the end of your rope, there's something more. So, the mainstream are really getting into essential oils now. When I first met Peter about 20 years ago, it's like I would talk about essential oils and everything that they could do therapeutically, and people wouldn't even listen to me. And now everyone is like into their essential oils. So is there a misconception of any kind out there with the mainstream?
Well, actually, there are many misconceptions and confusions. A lot of the information that's out there is very contradictory, paradoxical, and ultimately confusing. And this regards everything from dosing to choice of oils to long-term use. It's all there's a lot of misconceptions out there, mostly generated by commercial enterprises. Commercial-driven misconceptions resulting in massive rampant confusion, basically.
So if you stick with a practitioner who is trained, like the practitioners who work with Peter, the Snow Lotus trained people, you'll be in good hands, and you don't need to worry about all of that, because your practitioner will give you your formula of essential oils and give you instructions how you are to use it for your specific issue.
Absolutely.
Because there are many ways to use oils, but you need your practitioner to impart that knowledge to you, not just go out, run around and read something and go home and try it, because you might hurt yourself. Just like with any medicine, there's a way to go about it. Is there something else you would like to say about essential oils?
Well, that's a very broad question.
Isn't that? We'll be here for like an hour.
Can you define that?
Well, is there anything that you would just feel that the lay person out there should know about essential oils, just as a beginner course? Or
I would say begin to trust your nose. Begin to educate your nose and start noticing differences between different types of lavender. You could take the same lavender from different brands, different companies, and see which one, close your eyes and smell it, and just see which one really resonates with you, because there's many different qualities of lavender out there. Many of them are adulterated, unfortunately. Adulteration of essential oils is a widespread practice, for mostly carried out for commercial reasons. And so anything you can do to refine your sense of smell and bring it up to a point where you can make differentiations between the ones that really resonate with you will be helpful.
Yeah, like I've had some clients bring some of their essential oils in, and they've smelled the same one, like spearmint, with my spearmint, which is Snow Lotus, and they notice a huge difference, and it just made me think of why. Could you please tell us about standardized compared to non-standardized?
Well, this is one fundamental differentiation. Standardized oils really are those oils that have made it through the perfume industry and food flavoring industry and the soft drinks industry, and partly the pharmaceutical industry. So most essential oils, actually about 95% of the essential oils that are produced worldwide end up in soft drinks, foods, paints, household products, soaps, etc., and pharmaceuticals. So 95%, only 5% are actually produced with the practitioner in mind, or even produced without being chemically standardized by those mass corporate industries worldwide. So that's a huge difference. So we differentiate between commercial essential oils, the ones I just mentioned, used by the corporations for food, flavoring, perfumery, etc., versus artisan essential oils, which are produced for aromatherapy uses, aromatherapists, practitioners, beauty care practitioners, the whole beauty care industry as a whole, in fact. And the quality differences are staggering. I mean, just night and day.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
and the trick is, of course, being able to identify a true, traditionally distilled oil, what we call an artisan essential oil, as opposed to a commercial oil, which has been synthetically added to or highlighted with fragrance chemicals, which in order to, with a sole purpose of standardizing that product, you know, that it has to be standardized, otherwise it wouldn't be legally distributed.
And you know, as a practitioner, I've seen people get more refined, what we call their chi getting more refined with treatments, and then they really can smell a difference. You know, it's amazing if you just think about it. But I am a practitioner, and I have used essential oils to treat things, whooping cough, the staph infection, MRSA, you know, hurting yourself while you're in the middle of an event, and there's a certain formula that Peter has made, and rubbing that on whatever just hurts so that you can get through the game if you're not going to be smart enough to sit on the bench, you know. So it's like, I've seen it work, and there are practitioners out there who can do this. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, it's such a broad question.
I always ask a broad question.
I think just educate your nose, read reliable literature. Those are the two components. Educate. Bottom line is education. Education and refining your sense of smell in any way you can. And discontinuing use of synthetic fragrances.
Oh, yes.
Well, because those really keep the nose addicted to the synthetics, which really will hold you back in terms of your appreciation and being able to absorb the healing properties of essential oils. Yeah.
Refine your nose. So do your research, just like with everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, so I hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you for joining me for this installment of Bright Day Essential Oils. Now go, anchor the light.